Spartans! What is your profession?
What is going on, everybody? We had a little difficulties with the intro, so I apologize. But what is going on? I hope everybody's doing well. So if you guys can hear me nice and loud, please hit the one button so I know I'm nice and loud and I'm not having any more difficulties. Sometimes this tech stuff doesn't agree with me, unfortunately. Let's fix the hairdo first. There we go. So, you read the intro? You read the title? Yes, we are talking about music tonight. Before we get into that, how is everybody's week going? How is the third day of October? It's the countdown finally to Comic Con. We have about 2 weeks, give or take, to get to Comic Con. Remember, me and Paul were going to be at Comic Con. So make sure you come up and say hi to us. The president, it will be giving autographs out. So if you want to say hi, take a picture or bullshit, or even go live with us, please come say hi. If you know you're going to be at Comic Con, please reach out to me. I'd love to meet up with you. And what is going on, Mariana? Yes, one is nice and loud. I love to hear that. So, music. So, the soundtrack of our lives, how music is made a difference. I believe this is a very good subject to talk about because music can make a big difference, a huge difference in our lives. Let me crank this up. There we go. It could be make a big difference in our lives, from having a good day or something to get you pumped up to you're having a bad day and just need something to cheer you up, or just something to match your mood, whatever that is. So, music makes the completely difference. We don't realize how much music can impact us, but it impacts us a lot. So, in this episode today, we explore the pro, profound impact of music has on our emotions, memories, and everyday experiences from childhood to adulthood. The song that, how can I put this? The song that fires our emotions, moments, weaknesses, strengths in a way into everyday lives. How does music help us? how does it help us cope, celebrate, and react? So, into the universe of language, music is a language of a multiple cases, experiences, power, healing, cross genders. Let's uncover the music truth shares a soundtrack of our lives today. Keyword: soundtrack of our lives. And that should be a very important impact because we don't realize how impact music does to us. So, like, I want everybody to, in the chats, tell me one song that impacted you, beyond impact you, to the point that you love listening to it over and over. Could be several songs, could be 100 songs, whatever. Just name a song, at least one. That's what I like to hear. One song will make a difference, or several songs, or whatever the case is. And that is the huge difference of this conversation today. Let me see who just messaged me. Give me 1 second, guys. Uh, my volume is low. Okay. All right. Let's see what I can do about that. Okay. So I have the mic all the way cranked up. So tell me if you guys can hear me better now because I put the mic a little closer to my mouth. So guys, just let me know in the chats how am I sounding now. But seriously, in the chats, let me know what song that has impacted you more. So I'm gonna give you the reason why I came up with the song. So have you guys heard of the song of the band called Linkin Park? Any chance? It will. This is a little bit of a sweet and sour conversation for me. I was a humongous fan of Linkin Park. When Chester passed, I remember where I was, and I mentioned this on streams before, and I mentioned it in some other videos. I think I did one on a gray area. I'm not mistaken. Sad. So I was literally driving home from work. I was working in Jessup, PA at the time, and I was in a car. I was on a highway, and I was tuning in the regular radio, check the traffic reports, all that stuff. And when I turned the channel around, they broke the news that Chester had committed suicide and he's passed. I mean, I went like, man, not another fucking legend. To me, he was a legend. His music talked to me, expressed me. It was something different. So, as I was driving, that's all I wanted to listen to the rest of the day, last couple weeks. Now, fast forward to today, a lot of us has forgot who Linkin Park is. Too recently, when they came out with their new Signal, their comeback tour, if you call it. People give them shit because they're using a different lead singer, new vocalist. I don't know the girl. Never heard of her. Don't know anything about her. I really don't care. Some backlash came out of it. But the backlash, I think, is kind of bullshit, to be honest with you. I think people are so used to seeing Chester, and I think anybody wanted them to come out. But what I heard also, and I seen reports, and I'm kind of fascinated with where this is going to go because I wonder if they're going to continue with the tour or not. I don't care about the backstory. I don't never ever give a shit about people's personal lives. I care about the music. Some people do, some people don't. But I do know a little bit about the band. There's only a few original members still left in there. Mike is one that who created the band. He's still there. So he he has come public in the record said he's not trying to erase or forget Chester's legacy. It's really hard to erase somebody like that because he was such a big icon. His music was incredible. Like if I type in Linkin Park right now, and I want to see top songs. If I can type, it'd be nice. So let's see what it comes up with. The End, Faithful, One Step Closer, Breaking the Habit, Coliseum, Bleeding Out, Paper Cut, Crawling, Shower of the Days, and that's only 3, 4, 5, about 6, 7, 8 top songs. If I keep continuing, is so many. They have about at least over 20. So in the end, not only in the end, all the songs, if you really listen to the lyrics, he's screaming for help inside. And nobody realized that. He thought that's how he sang. But literally, he was screaming for help. What mind blows me the most with this tragedy, he was at top of his game. He was not only in Linkin Park, he was in some other bands. And tell you exactly what the bands he was in because I wasn't prepared for that. So he was in Linkin Park, Grace Day, King of Clouds, Storm of Temple Pilots, Deep by Survivor, and Camp Freddy. Might be pronouncing that wrong. But those are the top bands he was in. Ours Linkin Park made him who he was. So why I mentioned they're not trying to erase his legacy. Here's why. When his son came out and said they're trying to erase my father's legacy. Don't know the guy personally. I don't know anything about him, and I don't really give a shit to be honest with you because that's who he is. His son is named James. If anybody's curious, if you want to do the research, it's up to you. I don't care really. So what I do care about the comments he has made was they're trying to forget my father's legacy, this and that, whatever. Okay, that could be true in the back end, but I don't care to be honest with you guys. But I will say I do care about the music again. So here's the thing. I don't think they're trying to erase Chester's legacy. And you can't. You really somebody that icon is really really hard to erase somebody because of how big and how popular he was. Man, if you don't know who Chester was, and fun fact on the side, one of my coworkers goes, and I tell him when I heard it, I'm like, oh shit, you hear Linkin Park is back? He goes, who's Linkin Park? Who the fuck is Linkin Park? What the fuck is wrong with you, kid? But again, I forgot how old he is. He's only 19, so he died probably when he was still a kid. He didn't hear anything about him. So then his mother, Chester's mother, came out and said the same thing. I think they haven't moved on still. They haven't accepted the fact that their son and father is gone. I know it's been 7 years and everything like that. They probably said they had closure. They went through therapy and all that stuff. But have they really have closure? It doesn't sound like it to me. I think that's where the problem is. Let's be honest here, guys, for 1 minute here. Is music a business? Absolutely. It's a business. More albums you sell, more music you sell is a business at the end of the day. And you have to You have to make music, and you have to produce. You have to do things that comes on like that. So at the end of the day, you if you don't make albums, you don't sell. You don't sell them. I almost said CDs. So I guess you can say CDs or fuck uh digital downloads now. What's going on, Cass? How are you, brother? So the music has changed the way you sell it, because before was, oh, you had to go in the store physically buy a CD, and I was one of those guys that used to buy physical CDs at a store. Then I went to downloading. Now I just stream. But either way, you're selling some kind of service to us as the consumer. Let's keep that in mind. So breaking records, that's what they're known for. They have broken so many records, and it's not even funny how many records they've broken. So and he was very known for his unique sound. And actually, I'm gonna look something up for a second. So they have 4 albums. That's not right. 4 videos, 4 albums. 39 singles. That's what I was looking for. It, that's a good accomplishment. So listen, let's be. I want to use something else for example here, and this is why I want to really talk about this a little bit right now before everybody jumps on and we start having our conversation tonight. I'm gonna use Metallica for example. Metallica was known for metal, but people forget one thing. They had, I think, several band members who died. Yeah, they have a good amount. One or two band members that died. I'm gonna look it up right now. Members. Yeah, I'm gonna do this the other way. Okay, so the guy who sung Master of Puppet died in '09. So that's why you kind of saw a little bit of Fairway, and you saw another one who died in '86. So they lost 2 members, and they still come back no matter what. They keep coming back and back and back. Nothing's gonna stop them. Don't give them backlash. Like, why are they still continuing? And they gave everybody Metallica backlash. I mean, Linkin Park. That's my issue. How many bands do we know that came out that somebody? Good example, Deadpool. Deadpool lead singer died with a rare heart disease, and they're back. Yeah, the music is not as great as it used to be. I give them that, but nobody gave them shit. Why are they back? Why are they still doing their thing day in day out? Nobody has broken their balls about it, but that's okay. But not Metallica. That makes no sense to me. Again, everybody has family members. No family member that I know of at least came out and gave them backlash. Why? Why are they doing this? Why are that or this? Anything like that. So that is a little bit of my issue with this whole back and forth thing. So yeah, I'm not buying it. I think it's more there. I think it's a lot more. Like recently, like they said that. Let me try to remember correctly. Like Mike was going to replace Chester on a heartbeat. I don't think so, because he made Linkin Park what it is today. A lot of people, including myself, thought he was actually the. My hair is really bugging the crap out of me today. Uh, he, a lot of people, including myself, thought he was the leader of the band. Obviously, now we know it's Mike. Again, I think he's getting shit for no reason. I think his bullshit was how they're treating these members. So, so one of my questions tonight is going to be: how does music affect your mood on a daily basis? That is a good question. So, let's answer it the best way we can and then we can come back to the guys. So, I think your mood has a lot to do with the music you choose. If you're having a bad day, you're probably listening to something more like heavy metal or rock. If you're a happy mood, more excuse me, more a pop or R&B or even rap. Like here's a good example. I know this is very very cheesy what I'm about to say, so hopefully I don't get roasted for this one. Is one song. It's called "Go Go Into the Distance." How do I think that for a second? Go into the distance. Does anybody know where's that from? I'll give you guys a second to answer that. Till then, to you guys answer it, I want to see if "Going to the Distance" it literally says what a song stands for. Going to the distance, belonging somewhere. Going to a place that you feel welcome home kind of thing. And that's going to the distance. So going to the distance is from Hercules, the cartoon, the anime version movie. If you have not listened to that song, literally put it on. Close your eyes and listen to the lyrics. Then come back and have a conversation with me before you say, "Well, you listen to that shit." So what I listen to that stuff, dude. It doesn't matter. It's what I like. My moods vary. I said somebody the other day at work, and I was playing music. I'm working. I got a weird taste of music. You're gonna get used to it, or you're gonna hate it. It's really up to you. I don't really care. I'm still gonna play my music. But to you or to the next person or whatever, I'm just generalizing right now. Might be weird, but it's not weird. It's something I enjoy. So always keep that in mind. Okay, so next question I have: can you recall a special song that brings back a powerful memory of you? Ooh, that's a rough one because there are a bunch of songs like Titanic, for example. Who remembers the song from Titanic? And if you remember the song, I'd like to hear the name in the chats because that is a unique song. Uh, so Titanic song was meaningful for me because I was in Greece when that movie came out. And it was a great movie. Don't get me wrong. I'm not going to take away from the movie. It was a great movie. And I loved it. But that song hit home for me. And it always has hit a special place in my heart because, again, I kind of grew up with it. And the song was called "My Heart Will Go On." Is it going on? Let me check really fast. Da, 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 da. Nope, wrong thing I clicked on. Give me 1 second, guys, because now I lost track of where I'm at. I hate when I do that. Yep, I was right. My Heart Will Go On by what's her name? Celine Dion. Cannot pronounce her name. So that song hit home for me. Reminds me of Greece. It reminds me of sad times. Sometimes me of good times. Sometimes bad times. Some great times. A little everything. Because remember, guys, this movie came out in 1998, 97. I'm sorry, 97. It came out in 97. So I was in Greece. I was a young kid. To me, that was like the longest movie I seen at the time. It was a iconic movie, but the soundtrack made it what it was. So it was a great song. So, by that said, what is a powerful memory, a song you guys have? It has to be something out there. You can't tell me you don't have one song. All right, next question is what way does music help you cope with difficult emotions or situations? Hmm. I remember years ago, I went through a really, really, really bad breakup. I'm talking about 15 plus years ago. And that hit me hard. I mean, hard like a ton of bricks. I was in love with a woman and everything. So, but when she broke up with me, I broke up with her because she cheated on me. Love was still there, but I was angry too. So, who has heard the song "I Hated Everything About You" by Three Grace? I think is it. Hang on, I'll tell you right now because I can't remember who sings it. Okay, here it is. It's sung by Three Grace. And by the way, if you get a chance to see Three Grace in live, it's so incredible show they have. It's not even funny. I saw, and actually, here's the funny thing. I'm gonna see if I can find the picture. Oh, the lead singer actually came up in the audience to start singing. It was an incredible show. I didn't originally go to see them. I went to originally see Fight Fair Death Punch, but that was the icing on the cake for me. And it was, I can't even stop talking about it because of how good. That's one of the best concerts I ever been, hands down, one of the best. I think I went to them. And yes, yeah, it's a little too late, Mariana, but I give you a effort. Let me see if I can find that picture. I know I have it somewhere in here. Let me find it. Nope. I know I have it in here somewhere. Can't remember where it is. So anyway, he came up on stage. It was a very, very incredible show. But I remember listening to that song. It hit home for me because I needed that song at the time. Unfortunately, we all go through our ups and downs in life. That's my up and my down at the time. It is what it is, and not much I can do about it. But that song helped me get through a lot. I'll give you another one. I believe it's called. Not P.S. I Love You. I think Anything I Love About You. Uh, I think it's called. I think it's called. Actually, I don't know. I think it's like Anything I Love About You. Yeah, I think that's what it is. Let's see if I can see the lyrics that we know. The song is. Let's see what we got. I'm sorry. Is What I Love About You. Yeah, I went through another breakup and I wasn't angry or nothing. I'm kind of like our relationship just came to the end. Plus, he was very abusive too, so it didn't help. At the time, I wasn't processing like that, but that song helped me get through it. All right, let's see what Eric has to say here. Autumn by Autofi by Anik Marcin is one of those songs that sit emotionally deep in my soul. Every Harper and powerful, especially performance live. So me and Eric have been having a little conversation on the side about music. So I kind of introduced him to some new songs like Dragon Force. So Eric, have you listened to Dragon Force yet? Did you listen to the music? So who hasn't heard Dragon Force? They're a little bit of old school sound with a modern twist to it. Meaning is like if you remember the 80s or 70s rock songs, it has that type of sound to it, but they're just coming out now. It's more modern. Dragon Force is a very, very good band. So definitely, if you haven't checked them out, definitely go check them out. So, what was I doing? All my questions up. Okay, childhood music. Do you think a child today has better or worse experience? Oh shit, wrong one. Do you think a child in their music, like intros, stuff like that, have it better or worse now? So personally, I think the 80s had the best intros for in the 90s of shows. Power Rangers, Ninja Turtles, Thundercats, Silverhawks, Transformers, G.I. Joe. Dude, if you don't know G.I. Joe by now, American Hero, whoo, listen to a song, man. That brings memories back to me. Some of the old school 90 cartoon themes. Like if you type in 90 cartoon themes, what will come up? Let's do it right now. Into top 10 too. All right. So the 90s only. Dexter Laboratory. That was okay. Animaniacs. Come on, you have some. Gargoyles, that was not bad. Powerpuff Girls, not too bad. Batman and Man, decent. Rugrats was pretty good. Doug, Johnny Bravo, that was actually a good one. So now let's do the 80s for a minute here. Let's see what we get from that. Because I'm curious on that one. All right, now we're talking here. We're cooking a little bit. All right, we got Transformers. We got He-Man, the Smurfs, Alvin and Chipmunks. Dude, I don't care who you are. If you remember, Alvin and Chipmunks theme song, you're probably living on a fucking rock. Thundercats, I respect that. Inspector Gadget, Chip and Dale's. If you don't remember Chip and Dale's, Rescue Rangers, Chip and Dale's. I don't know what to talk. I can't even talk to you right now. Like seriously. Garfield and Friends, that was okay. The Real Ghostbusters. I like the movie version better. I like them. I just more my cup of tea. But it's not a bad song still. Smurfs, not bad. DuckTales. Woohoo. DuckTales. Come on. How you cannot talk about this stuff without talking about DuckTales? Ninja Turtles. Again, how can you talk about any kind of music without talking about Mutant Ninja Turtles? She-Ra. I gotta hit a mixed emotion with that one. I feel that very knockout version of He-Man. I really feel it's a knockout version. Dungeon Dragon. I don't remember that. Maybe I was a bit too young. Eric, you're a Dungeon and Dragons person. Do you remember the cartoon theme song, chance? Okay. So what was I? Okay, right here. Jan, I do remember a little bit. Spider-Man and His Amazing Friends. I remember that watching that in Greece. G.I. Joe, I mentioned Danger Mouse. Oh man, I remember that shit like it was yesterday. The Adventures of Gummy Bears. I remember seeing the theme song. I never really watched the show, to be honest with you guys. So it's one of those. Okay. We talk about G.I. Joe, Clifton. Scooby and Scrappy Doo. Oh, here we go. Eric says, no, not very well. Sorry. I thought you were a Dungeon Dragon, bro, man. What the hell? Now you disappointed me. We're gonna have look. We need to have a private conversation after the stream, man. Me and you having a long conversation. So if we hang on, I want to get rid of this top 10. Let's do. Danger Mouse was awesome. You know, what's another good one if you guys remember? Mighty Mouse. Mighty Mouse was the shit back in the day. So a couple other ones I want to mention is Voltron, Silverhawks, Mask. Let's see what else we got here. This one I don't know if anybody remembers is Thunder. Thunder the Barbarian. I had to pronounce that correctly. And we got Jace the Weird Warriors. Dude, if you just watch the theme song, it's catchy. You want to just turn on and watch TV. GoBots, I don't remember that much. This was another catchy one. The Avengers of the Galaxy Rangers. Again, another catchy one. Defenders of the Earth, another catchy one. Who remembers Beetlejuice? Come on. I know it's very popular right now because the movie's back out and everything. Robotech was a really catchy theme song, but it was good. Cops was a good one. The Super Mario Brothers show, that was a good one. X-Men. If you're on this stream, you don't know the X-Men theme song, we need to have a goddamn conversation. How do you not remember that theme song? Can somebody please answer that question? All right, let's see what else we got. Spider-Man is another catchy one. The Super Friends, the Smurfs, SWAT Cats, Tailspin. Tailspin was actually a really good one if you guys remember that song. Street Sharks, Extra Squad. Extra Squad was okay theme song. King Arthur and the Knights of Justice. I don't want to say it was one of the best ones, but it was good. It was like, if you turned on it, you knew what you were talking about. Let's see what else we got here. Said this one already. I don't want to repeat myself. Talked about Transformers already. Maybe you guys remember this one. This one is not. It doesn't have lyrics, but it's still a song. You know, a score technically. Oh, here's another one. The Pirates of the Dark Water. Who remembers Action Man's theme song? He was actually a pretty good one. The music of... So Johnny Quest, they had two theme songs. The Real Quest of Johnny Quest, excuse me, the Real Avengers of Johnny Quest, and that was a fucking sick theme song with the 3D and everything. Or was the original, which one you're talking about now? Because if you're talking about the Real Avengers of... Is it Real Avengers or... I think it's called a Real... Hang on, I gotta look it up now. It's bugging me. Actually, hang on. I know what to do. Usually my phone is a lot faster. Let's see, where are we? Where are you? Okay, it's the Real Avengers. Spartans! Oopsies. The original. I'm going to disagree with you, Eric. I don't like the original as much. I like the what's it called? The Avengers. I don't know because it was my generation, because that was where all 3D came about and it started popping pretty loud, or it's just a better tune. I want to say my generation. I would say it was my generation because that time was a really good time for different times. Here's one you may remember, Eric. All right, you ready? Are you sitting down? Good. So, tell me if you remember the theme song of the Superhuman Samurai Squad. So, if you don't remember that, I don't know if we can ever have a conversation ever again. That's up there with the classics, in my personal opinion. Oh, here's one I don't remember. I forgot to mention. This is actually a catchy one too. All right, tell me in the chat if you guys remember this. You guys, okay, first of all, is everybody sitting down? Good. Is everybody ready? Good. So, let's talk about this. Who remembers Captain Planet and the Planeteers? If you don't know that song, I don't know if I can have a conversation with you after that. There's so many classic songs here. It's not even funny. Again, it goes back to our original conversation, the soundtrack of your life. That is it's up to you really. Do kids have good music in their cartoons, shows, or whatever? I don't think so. Not anymore. I think they just throw a couple words in there, or maybe AI does it and they call it a day. That's it. Okay, so let's get back to the questions here. Nope. Eric, we are going to have a long conversation about our friendship tonight. And when I'm done with the stream, like I said, I can't tell them because I have to get up at 5 tomorrow. But tomorrow we're definitely going to have a long conversation about our friendship here. Because our friendship is on very thin ice right now. Just saying, very thin ice. Just keep that in mind. Because you don't know some of the most best cartoon theme songs. How dare you? So, okay, what do you think music can identify? Excuse me. Do you think music can influence social movements or culture changes? I think so. Because you say what is culture music? Music is music any day. It doesn't matter if it's yay or nay. The culture you're in doesn't make a difference. If you're, from Jamaican, you're going to listen more Jamaican music. Black David, he probably listens a lot of African music. I going to sit there and not say that. Or like myself, I do listen to a good amount of Greek music too. But believe it or not, in Greece, at the time while I was growing up there, the biggest population of music was rock, metal, and that was the number one. Fun story, actually. I was in Greece a couple times, and I really wanted this one CD. Couldn't find it anywhere in the States. It was completely sold out at the time. Rock band. They're called Seven Dust. And I couldn't find it anywhere. So I used to go hang out at this CD store with my friends, and I used to bug this guy. You have Seven Dust? Do you have Seven Dust? And every day he said, no, I don't have it in stock. I don't have it in stock. And a couple times, like, kid, I told you already, I don't have it. Stop asking me. I'm tired of you asking me the same question. So, yeah, I think your culture has a lot to do with what kind of music you've been gravitated to. Because a lot of people will listen to rock, rap, jazz, hip hop, classical, whatever. So, yeah, I think that has a lot to do with it. I think that has a lot to do with how what kind of you listen to, what you grew up into. And it's something that is you. Very simple. So I think you just need to find what you like and stick with it. That's my personal opinion, but anyway, do I know? I'm just the guy who's on YouTube. So, where are we? Sure. This is actually a good one too. I forgot I had this in here. How does your taste in music evolve over time, years, and shapes different cultures? I don't think it shapes different cultures. I'll put that right there. I don't know why I put that in there, but I think it does involve what you like. Like when I was younger, the only thing I listened to was metal, Metallica, and stuff like that. You would never catch me listening to like rap or anything like that. But as I got older, my flavor started changing. Great example. Back in high school, who remembers when the Eminem Soul CD came out? So the Eminem song, the Eminem Show, CD, when it first came out, I didn't like it. I did not like it. So about a few months later, I was been talking about it, like, fuck it, let me give this CD a second. I actually liked it. I know it was only a few months difference, but a few months could make a difference. A huge difference. I remember Captain Planet. Wow, at least somebody remembers something I said today. So I think it depends what you like. It can change over time. Some people are just into that type of music. That's all they listen to. I remember when I went to Greece last time. It's been years now. Rap was just breaking into the scene in Greece. And I remember having this conversation with my cousin. My cousin was very excited about that. He's a huge rap fan. And he remembered the evolution of the rap scene at the time. And he goes, this reminds me back home. He goes to me, what do you mean? I go to him, well, you might be too young to remember, but I remember when rap first came out on the market. And all this music came out. And AMC, freaking. Anyway, you know what I'm trying to get. My brain cannot even go there right now. It was exciting times. But now, it's just, it got stale after a while, in my personal opinion. But that scene was going on in Greece about 15 years ago. Now it's like pretty much took over the market. Uh, does it? What role does music play in shaping your identity? Seems of self. I don't want to say your music identifies who you are. The reason I say that, because it does not. Your music is who you are, no matter what. Your music is who you are, but it doesn't identify who you are. Like at one point, you had the rock guys, the jazz guys, the classic guys, the metal guys, the rock person, all these different type of genres. But as we got older and older, that genre have changed over the years. Now it's not such thing as one genre. You listen to a little bit of everything, and it's different now. It's so different that the music is not the same like it used to be. Uh, Let me see one thing here really fast. So the music genre is not like you had to listen to one genre, to one person, to one, like if you're a rock person, you only listen to rock. If you listen to that, you only that. That's not the thing anymore. I think that has gone away over time. And it has changed. It makes you think now. Before you had to listen to specific genre because that's your group of friends, but not anymore. I don't think it's like that anymore. I think you can listen to everything, and I personally, that's what I think personally, because it doesn't matter if you're friends with somebody who's rap or this like that. Well, at least my friends are listening to everything, Except Paul. I want to get him into metal. That's my mission in life. I want to see if he like. I should take Paul to a metal concert. I don't want to go too heavy on it. I might scare him away a little bit. Hmm. Let me see what I can do. I'm going to see if I can convince him to go to a metal concert. May not be his cup of tea, but I might try. Just saying. Side note, people might give me shit for this one, but I think it's actually a very good band. Who knows who a band called TSO knows? So TSO stands for Tribirsker Orchestra. I really don't like them. It's fascinating because they're into classic Christmas songs, but they put a rock twist to it and some little jazz too. And it's actually the concert is incredible and tickets are very affordable, believe it or not. And it wasn't nice. They have one great ass light show, and that's what they're known for. And the top of that light show is there's a story to tell during the show, like a Christmas story, and it's actually extremely good. One of the most popular song is Christmas Eve. Look up TSO, Christmas Eve by TSO, and you're going to fall. I'll be surprised how many you don't like it. I'll be very, very surprised. It's rare when I hear people say they don't like that song. I think I won't say the best one, but one of the top ones they have. It's up there in their, in their list. Music identifies us in every certain way. Like my hair. Is my hair makes me who I am? No. I change my hair all the time. That means I'm changing my who I am? No. I get bored, so I'm going to change it. Simple. So, why should that identify who we are? Simple. So let's get to the next question. My guys are really late tonight for some reason. Okay. Where did I leave off? How does music connect people from different backgrounds and cultures? This is definitely a gray area question. So I will say it connects us in so many ways. I'm going to use Titanic, for example. I don't think anybody, at least back then, didn't know who that song was. But you tell me that's so many years that hasn't happened anymore. Okay. I'm going to use a modern song that is from a classic. Because I kind of think I know what I'm talking about sometimes. A lot of you guys have seen by now or heard Deadpool's third movie, Deadpool and Wolverine. The opening scene has one good song. It's called Bye, Bye, Bye. Bye. Okay, I'm trying to say this right. There's a lot of buys in this. It's bye, bye, bye. Bye. In sync. That was a pretty popular song back then. It was like, I think, trying to think. A lot of people listened to it. That was towards the end of NSYNC's career, but it had a real life from Deadpool and Logan. And now, I'll be surprised if you turn on the radio, you don't hear it. Now it's very popular again. And I'm very, very shocked that song is back in popularity. Like, there was a couple songs from that movie that became very popular. Like, I'm trying to think. Laying something like from Madonna. I can't remember the name of the song. Oh shit. Trying to remember that song right now. Man, my brain's freezing right now. Let me look it up really fast. No, no, no. I hate when this happens. I can't remember when I was name of a song. You ever want to listen to a song and you just cannot remember what it's called, and it's bugging the living shit out of you? Let's see what I got here. Like a Prairie. That song is a very old song, actually. If you're I'm a huge wrestling fan. Some professional wrestler one professional overseas uses it as his entry song. Yeah, pretty cool. But it came more popular because of obviously what we're talking about here. It's a, one of the trailers for a very good song. And I'm actually gonna look up the wrestler's name. I'm trying to see if I can find him. Let's see. I can't find him. That's weird. Hmm. Thought it was in here. No, it's in here somewhere. Come on. Nope, not that one. Uh, let's move on. That's fine. So let's talk about the entry music for a second. Wrestler's entry music. How many of you guys remember a good entry song? Do you think that was part of culture, or was just a fluke? There were some songs that is beyond good, and it makes you wonder where the hell they came up with this stuff. I'll give you three songs. Undertakers, simple, no one looks crazy. Stone Cold Steve Austin, simple. Excuse me, simple, but still iconic. The Rock, simple, iconic again. Now let's twist roles for a second. You have The Rock. I'm not Rock. I'm sorry. John Cena's. John Cena's great song. Not my cup of tea personally, but great song for his entry. Used the same one for years. Great. Voices in the Head from Randy Orton. Great song. Generation X. Again, great song. Again, see the pattern. They found a song that works, and it's always been a good song. Let's see if I can find this up really fast. Nope. Entry. There we go. So, I think wrestlers do make a difference in the music. So and it will make a difference if you like a specific song to come out to. Even UFC and boxers do that now, and it's not bad. It's different. That's a good thing about music. So let's get to the next question. And if somebody doesn't show up in a little bit, we're gonna probably call her early tonight. Uh, what is the genre that inspires you most? I can't answer that question personally because I like a little bit of everything. It isn't the type of music I don't like. It isn't music I do like. I'm a little bit all over the place with that. Personally, I like a little bit of everything. It isn't one genre I like and one genre I don't like. I think everything is great. Let's see what Eric has to say. Ricky Steamboat. I think Ricky Steamboat had a good entry, but I don't think it was like iconic like that. I think Hogan had a better Molten Warrior. Those two were probably the ones that always ring the bell right here. I'm like, oh, that's where, and that's where I think it makes a difference. So, um, I can't really personally answer that because I listen to kind of music. Which genre mostly motivates me? I like a little bit of everything. Depends what's going on in my life at the moment. One is better than the other. The next one is: do you believe music can heal or be used for therapy? Absolutely, I do. I think it can heal and be therapeutical. The reason I say heal is, like I said earlier, I went through a breakup and that helped me get through stuff. Five Figs Death Punch was another one that has helped me more times than I can count in music. It's helped me motivate. It helps me this. It helps me that. So I think that's another one. And being therapeutical, yeah, it can be very therapeutical. I think it can be a lot of it. And people don't realize music is therapy in its own shape, way, or form. So we have to keep that in mind. So, and this is gonna be probably the last question, and we're gonna probably call it pretty soon. How would your life be different if music didn't exist? Man, my life would be fucking boring as shit, to be honest with you. Actually, let me do one little thing here before we. Let me do one more thing, and we're gonna get back to this. Sorry, guys. Modest is not my forte. So, let me. All right, Paul will be on in 5 minutes. Thank God. All right. So as I was saying, how my life would be without music. Oh man, I think that would be a rough one. I don't think music would have been it would not exist. I think music would have always existed, and I think it'd be very hard to have not music. I think music is definitely a thing needs to happen. It has to happen. Needs to happen. I think that's part of our evolution as a man, as a human being, as a woman. Music would happen as mankind. I think music is one of God's best gifts. And look at us now. What would happen if we didn't have music? I can't imagine a world without music. It's no way possible. I think music would have always been around. Name a time that music is there, is not there, and then you wonder, what happened if music was there? I don't think we'll have that conversation because music's there. Have you guys ever watched a movie or a show like a bloopers or How to Make It, and the music wasn't there? They took it out of there, or before they put it in. It's boring as fuck without the music. The music gets you excited. I'll give you a great example. Video games. You're playing that video game, you're playing along, like Mario Brothers. When you hear that sound right there, you know you just died. Or hear this one. Hey, you know something's going on with Zelda there. And like, yo, the little fairy says, yo, fucker, pay attention over here. So even this one. These are the next two ones. Or those are the top 4 songs at least I have on my sound deck. So if we didn't have all that stuff, where would we be? How can music not be a thing? How music could not be existed? That's hard. I'm gonna use let's stick to the video games for a second here. Does anybody remember any good soundtracks from a game you guys played on? I'll give you a couple off my head right now that you guys are Mario Brothers, Mortal Kombat, Metal Gear Solid. One of my newer ones are favorite from Devil May Cry 4 or 5 is it? I believe it's 5. Devil May Cry 5 is called. Hang on, I'll tell you right now. Actually, going on my phone is easier. Going through that moment job on my computer right now. It's 2. One's called Silver Bullet, and the other one is called. It's actually 3 songs from that series. From Devil May Cry 4, I like Silver Bullet and Devil Trigger. For Devil May Cry 3, I actually like Devils Never Cry. If you haven't listened to those songs, you have no idea what you're missing. But again, I'm a huge Devil May Cry fan, so jackpot. If you know who that is, it sucks being you. So, but like those songs, like Zelda had an iconic song. Metroid had an iconic song. I know it was like not lyrics, was like the computer music. I can't remember the name of it right now. But again, it was a good music. Back then, you said, "Yo, did you hear that fucking soundtrack from that game?" Come on. You have memories for those games very easily. So let's get President in here. He's been holding off for too long.
Holding off from what?
For your election.
I told you, I'm running unopposed. No one's coming at me yet. So
that we know about. I might
hey,
run
look,
against you. I might
October surprise. Is that it? Is that what we're saying?
Yeah, I might shave my head and run against you.
Okay. Well, for the time being, I'm kind of off politics for a minute. I know BMU Network. I know they're doing the politics things again. I just bowed it. I say I can't. I just can't.
I have respectfully.
I'm out.
I am temporarily retired from
right
now.
Absolutely.
I'll be straight up, dude. I respect BMU. I love the guy to death. He's a great guy, but it's too much for me right now. It is way too much.
Yeah.
Like last night's podcast with Bossman, I love that. That was fun.
Well, for a minute, I was rocking it too. I was probably there for maybe 2 hours, and I was like, man, I can't. And then I looked in the morning because I was gonna try back. They were on almost 6 hours last night.
Holy shit!
Yeah, go and look at the time of the stream. So I don't know. They went into like
Three
they
o'clock
went
in the
into
morning?
extra
No,
overtime. What's that?
like when I jumped on for an hour. So when I jumped on there, I was there for an hour because I couldn't jump. Shit, 5 hours and 46 minutes. Holy fuck, boss man!
I mean, like who has,
I'm pulling this
look
shit out.
some of us a salute to these
I
guys. Some of these guys, you gotta like that. Fine, man. I haven't put stuff like that since the pandemic. So it's like, look, I got to go to work, man.
Listen. I got shit going on tomorrow. Like I know I'm gonna lack some
Right.
sleep, and for you good
I'm
people,
like,
because
yo,
tomorrow's a very big
yo,
day for my mom
nah, I'm
tomorrow.
not. That's why I like again. I'll do the sports show. The gray area again. We're pretty good. 2 hours. If you can't say what you got to say in 2 hours, then there's not much more to be
I
said. So
try to cut off at 2 hours because I know we all
yeah,
work. So I think
absolutely.
it's one show I would say that I did that went about 3 hours.
Hmm.
I'm trying to see which one it was right now really fast. And it wasn't. I asked you guys in the background if you remember. Do you guys want to keep going? And most of you guys, it's up to you, P. We don't care.
Hmm.
So I winged it a little bit longer.
Right.
Which one is it? Okay, it was last Thursday. Did you have a childhood? It went
Yeah,
for
but that's a
three
deep
hours.
topic. I mean, certainly there's shows you've done, and we definitely said, you could definitely do a part two or a follow up on
Absolutely.
that or something like that. So, but even then, is again, you kind of get, given in small give it
Dose.
in small bites or leave people asking begging for more, you know what I'm saying? It's like that's the first rule of entertainment, right? You always leave them wanting a little bit more rather than wishing that you leave,
Even in the
so
gray
yeah, so
area that we have to soon we start looping back a couple of these episodes. You know what I was thinking? Do you ever remember watching like the old shows like To Be Continued, and then
oh yeah,
they do that like
Batman 1966, same
yeah
bat time, same bat channel,
yeah
absolutely.
yeah, and the next episode was like last time on Batman, and they go little clips here and there and
Little
little
right.
shorts.
In
Maybe I
fact, we
put a
had
little put a couple
we
of
had a
shorts together.
cliffhanger on our sports show because I brought Tommy B from Oakland on because
Okay.
certainly Oakland, the city of Oakland, is just lost its last sports team. So the Oakland A's, they're moving to Vegas. So Oakland, they lost the Raiders, they lost the Oakland A's, and they lost the Warriors. Even though the Warriors they're playing in San Francisco, said there's no sports teams in the city of Oakland at this point. So we had Tommy B on, and he was just spitting. So I said, hold on, because we had to cut our show for Boss Man show. So we said, okay, well, we're gonna bring you back. We're gonna start next week's show, continuing where we left off, just to give him the floor so we can really spin about, again, the Oakland sports scene, because that's got to be devastating to a community when you lose all your franchises and whatnot.
Absolutely.
And he was dropping dimes I didn't even know about, but because he lives there, he grew up there, he knows more so the inside scoop. I'm leading the show next week with that. So yeah, we no, so again, I'd much rather do again smaller chunks, and if we got to roll it to another show or whatever, or hang on till next time or whatever, again, keep you coming back. That works for me. But in any event, but what's going on tonight? I saw some of the topic. I thought we covered some of this on our
We
Gravy show.
did.
We was talking about music. So what's
We did.
what's the
I kind of want
context
to
tonight?
loop around and get other
Sure,
people opinions on it.
sure.
I had JT and some other guys come in, but obviously, I know Thursday's a rough night now because of football. So I think that's why a lot of people are not showing up because
Yeah.
they're
For me, it's like I said, it's the burnout. Like between, you know, like I said, like I said, I wasn't on. I'm not on the Tuesday shows that much anymore. But
mhm.
again, with the Wednesday sports show, and whatnot, it's like Thursday is almost like kind of like my, Monday and Thursday is like my only kind of days off. So I
Yeah,
need to kind of decompress a little bit, and then I kind of go back in. You got the barbershop on Friday, and then you got the hangout Saturday, and then you got
yeah,
the
yeah.
gray area Sunday. So I'm trying to limit more of my,
Streaming.
my stuff, so I'm more refreshed when I come into the spaces.
Yeah. So the typical conversation, the soundtrack of your life, is how music makes a difference in our lives every day.
Hmm. Hmm.
So go ahead, take the floor for a minute.
It's really, how does it make a difference? It's weird now because it's different now. When I was younger, music certainly shaped a lot of my life. But now it's almost like I shape my my music around my life. I mean, like growing up, I mean, the soundtracks, the movies, the birth of rap music, the soundtracks, John Williams, the Star Wars, the even the TV shows. I actually got this is how geeky and nerdy I am. I actually have TV's greatest hits volumes 1 through 3, and so um so the shows that when you used to sing the songs like Gilligan's Island, like you knew the lyrics to the whole song. I mean, going to basketball games with the team, you would, basically sing the theme songs of popular TV shows, the Brady Bunch or whatever. I mean, so that was kind of like, again, I think I talked about on your childhood show. Those are the things that when you're growing up, you're thinking to yourself, it's like, man, these are some of the positive things. When certainly life wasn't going so well or whatnot, you live vicariously through television or through music or entertainment or what have you. Now today, it's more so I go back in time. More so, like I very rarely listen to anything new. It's very rare if I listen to like radio, it's like WBLS or something like that, and certainly in the New York, New Jersey area, they play a lot of they play the new stuff, but they also play a lot of old stuff. They do a lot of especially on the weekends. They do a lot of retro mixes, so back to the '80s, back to the '90s type of music. But more times than not, it's my phone, and I just have large playlists on my phone, but most of the music I'm listening to, and it can vary. It can be, again, old television show themes. It could be rap music from the 80s or the 90s. It can be movie soundtracks like Star Trek, like listened recently, Star Trek, The Wrath of Khan. The Search for Spock. That soundtrack, because I actually prefer The Search for Spock over Wrath of Khan to it, even though that's the original source material. I think they refined it for The Search for Spock. So all kinds of Transformers the movie. I was listening to that earlier this evening. I was out running errands, and so a lot. It's just what comes into my head. So music, it really depends on what state I'm in, or sometimes what I need at a time. So if I need something uplifting, I talked about on the Gray Area show, Earth, Wind, and Fire. They have a spiritual song called "Open Our Eyes." And it's just a very spiritual song. I mean, you could almost apply it to almost any religion. It's not Christian for specific, but it's just a song of gratitude, and just really focuses you in terms of your if you're stressed out about things, just keep the important stuff. So again, if I need inspiration, motivation, there's certain music I get into. If I work out like early in the morning or whatever, like really early in the morning, I love putting on from the Rocky soundtrack. The Rocky soundtrack. There's a song called Reflections, and it is very similar. If you've ever heard Kool and the Gang Summer Madness, it has some cues from Summer Madness, but it's just a song that I will oftentimes play when I have a very early morning. It just helps get me up. It helps me focus, and really, kind of shake the cobwebs out as I'm getting through my day. If I'm having a cardiovascular type of workout or a warm up or something like that, then I got a playlist of things that may start with reflections, but then the tempo really picks up. So I'll have like for movie soundtracks, Karate Kid, You're the Best. I'll play that. The theme from I have an extended cut of the Enter the Dragon theme that goes into a long, sort of jazzy, funky jam session. Basically, obviously they cut it down for the movie, but I'll go into that. Fight to Survive from Bloodsport is a major motivator. That one might be as big, like on the Rocky level, like the Rocky 4 soundtrack. Gonna Fly Now from Rocky. But if you look at the Bloodsport Fight to Survive soundtrack, that is definitely gets me hyped up for stuff. And then I may throw on some Run DMC and My Adidas or something like that. So there's certain songs that kind of get me amped for whatever endeavor that I'm about to do. If I need a little something extra in the morning, I may go to something motivational, or I may even play music from a movie that was motivational. So again, there might have been like an emotional scene in a movie, and a lot of times, what makes that scene memorable is a lot of the music that's in the scene. In fact, when you listen to the music, if you listen to the soundtrack, in my mind, I'm playing the scene in my mind. I know what's being said at the particular time. Um, when I'm sad, a lot of times I'll listen to Rocky 2. If you there's a lot of sad tracks in Rocky 2, especially when Adrian is in a coma, and there's just this long stretch of music by Bill Conti that just really, it's sad, it's emotional, but again, as you're listening to it, you're playing the soundtrack in your mind. And so a lot of times when I'm feeling, very reflective or sad about something or a situation, someone passing or something, or I'm just one of those moods, sometimes I'll put that on, in terms of what mood I'm in. So really, it's really what's going on in here, and then it's almost like I use the music to play the soundtrack of how I'm feeling in the moment. So if I'm preparing for something, if I'm psyched up, if I'm happy about something, there's a certain music I put on. If I'm more reflective, if I need something that's more cerebral, there's a certain music that I'll put on. When I'm mowing my lawn, I can go through a lot of different soundtracks or whatnot. It could be disco. In fact, the time I came up here to see you in PA, I played a lot of disco music. I don't know. I was just in a disco vibe. And so I played a lot of that music when I came to see you that day. So, it's been, um, so it's really, it's whatever comes into my mind. I find the music that fits the mood that I'm in. Whereas when I was younger, the music set the mood. And so that's kind of where I'm at with it. So again, if you look at there's no rhyme or reason to my playlist. I have a very organized playlist. So I have music from the 60s to mostly the present day, probably the 2010s. But I got rap in certain eras, 79 to 82, then from 83 to 85, then 86 to 90, and so on and so forth. And then I got movie soundtracks. I have you know, like I said, TV themes, cartoon themes, background music that I play. I'm also into a lot of white, like noise, white noise, black noise, brown noise. If I need to focus on something, if I need to read, like, and I mean read, like in terms of study something, I'll put on like airplane sound, like the sound of a passenger jet with call dings on it, like I'm as if I'm on a plane or I'm in a car, or sometimes rain sounds. If I want to relax, like sometimes before I go to bed, a lot of times I have so much going on in my mind, it's hard to kind of shut everything off. So I'll put a calming sound on, like a brown noise, just so I can focus on the noise and it helps me quiet my mind. Or sometimes something more relaxing, like the rain sounds. I'll put that on for long stretches and I'll fall asleep to rain sounds. In fact, it's almost to the point now where it's hard for me to fall asleep without having some kind of sound on. So in the summertime, like say if I'm not running the central air or something like that, my wife and I, she'll turn the fan on, and just the sound of the fan helps to calm me down and help me go to sleep. That goes all the way back to college. In fact, I remember a roommate that I had, he was like, he couldn't sleep unless this fan was on. I mean, so he was, but again, it's that kind of blocking out of, or quieting all of the, whatever the day was, whether it was good or bad or stressful or whatever, if you can't shut it off, then sometimes having those sounds allows you to do that. And so um, I will at times I will, employ that. But yeah, but it's the mood can be whatever it is. And my wife a lot of times is the same way. I mean, she can listen to any kind of music at any given time. But like I said, it all depends on, so, or if I start thinking about maybe something from back in the day and the music that played back in the day, where was I in 1977? or 1982 or whatever the music was or whatever. It's like, yeah, that time and that reminds me of something maybe that was good about that time. Then I'm like, oh, I got to bring up the 80s collection and I got to play that song from 1984. You know what I mean? So it's so so music always these days it serves the mood and the mood that I'm in, and then I just have it on the ready. So if I want to play it, boom, it's there, and it's usually something that's associated with a good feeling or the type of feeling that I want to invoke at that particular time.
I agree 100%. So with the background thing, I at some point I did for a while, and I don't know why I stopped doing this, but I used to put it in the winter, uh, fireplace sound in the background.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, on my TV technically, and I
Exactly.
always
Yep. I know
enjoy the
exactly what you're doing.
fireplace
Yeah.
sound, the cracking, and I just something is soothing for some
It
reason.
is. It totally is. Like I said, like a winter storm. Like outside, you hear that,
Yeah, it bring
or waves on a
yeah.
beach or something like that. It's just like I said that those nature sounds. It
You know what I
just
was
does something.
wondering now? Is it came to
Yeah.
my mind if Alexa has actually something like that to play
Oh, I'm
music.
sure. Oh,
Yeah,
100%.
probably do.
Yeah. Like I said, me, I have a pretty big list. I got about 100 of those type of environmental type of song tracks in just in one playlist on YouTube. So I have like spaceship, like what if you were on like the Starship Enterprise or something like that? What if you're on what would that be like? What if you're in a car? What if you're in a bus? What if you're in a cruiser? What if you're in a winter storm? Sound waves, like I said, a heating fan on. It just and a lot of times I'll just cycle through them like real quick as I'm playing, and then I hit the one. It's like, oh yeah, that's it right there. And I just like latch onto it, and then once I latch onto it, then I'm usually just sleep within like 10 minutes when I find that track. Not every track is appropriate for every. That's why I have so many, because I never know what I want to what's going to hit me right at that particular time.
Mm.
But there's some that I keep going back to.
And that's one like if you're thinking like here, let me ask you this question now. I'm gonna throw a monkey wrench in this conversation.
Sure.
Okay, we talked about cartoons before. Is there any theme song like always when you close your eyes, it comes to you, boom, and like, oh my god, I remember that cartoon.
Oh, 100%. I was just sharing on the Fandom Zone on our Facebook page.
Mm-hmm.
There was some old classic themes, Hong Kong Fooey, the Amazing Chan and the Chan Clan. That I don't know.
Thundercats.
That just came up into my mind all just off
Randomly.
the rip.
Yeah.
Scooby Doo. Where are you? Josie
So
and the Pussycats.
this
I
morning,
mean,
I don't know why this came to my mind, and I know Eric mentioned earlier Johnny Quest. You remember Johnny Quest? I'm sure.
yes.
He likes the original show. I like the remake.
Hmm.
Not
Yeah,
the remake. I would say later on the '90s version, the Real Revenge of Johnny Quest.
yeah,
I
yeah,
like that soundtrack personally.
yeah. Well, yeah, I can understand where he's coming from with because the '60s music, '60s and '70s music in general, it had that funky, jazzy mix. If you remember the
Mm.
original Spider-Man cartoon,
Yeah, I do. I remember the
Spider-Man,
sound. Yeah.
Spider-Man does whatever a spider can.
Same thing with Spider-Man and Amazing Friends. Similar sound
Exactly.
to it.
I have the soundtracks from the original 1966
Hmm.
Spider-Man series.
Okay,
And
cool.
it was these jazzy, groovy bands. It was like if you went to like one of those clubs back in the day with a live funk band or whatever, and they're just jamming. And it was like, the music was so hip from the '60s and from the '70s and whatnot. So that music just had a groove, and you just had these cartoons just to that groove. It wasn't silly, it wasn't hokey. These were like,
Sound
this
of the
was like,
time.
yeah. So I can certainly see, from that standpoint, music, the cartoons doing that. And I think certainly in the '70s and in the early '80s, I think they certainly got, and I think we talked about that on Edition of the Gray Area also, when we talk about cartoons. I think those early cartoons, I think they were a lot more serious, and I think they were a lot more violent. in a lot of
Absolutely.
ways. And I think they became a little bit more PC in the late 70s and 80s. Remember, they had the PSA announcements like at the end of the cartoon. It's like, well, Johnny learned a valuable lesson today, and never to talk to strangers or whatnot. And you should always be mindful of your surroundings. So take care of your kids, and we'll see you next week. But again, Johnny Quest back in the day, people died. Like the enemies got like blown up. The marauder or the antagonist, they would there was no they met their end. You saw the starship blow up. Boom. That was and they would
Yeah.
so again, violence, death and violence was something that even if you look at the coyote and speeds the what's the beep beep the roadrunner, right?
Oh,
That
and
was
get
violence. I
crushed.
mean, it was
They
like
would get crushed every
bombs
time.
and remember the TNT bombs
Yeah, trying to get
and
blown the
trying to
fuck
blow
up.
stuff up. Yeah, it was like that you can't, with with the world
Even in
as it
the
is.
'80s stuff, some of the stuff they were pretty harsh, like Ducktales, He-Man, Thundercats,
But nobody died. But
Silverhawk.
here's the thing: nobody died. Those '60s cartoons, people died. But
Don't remember nobody died. Yeah,
in the Spider-Man, you talk about Spider-Man, in the Amazing Friends, robots died and androids died, but
getting destroyed.
humans or
Yeah.
humanoids did not die. They were defeated or they ran off or something like that. But again, they took death out of those cartoons. The Saturday morning stuff with like Captain Marvel and all those '70s live action,
Hmm.
nobody died. So I
Yeah,
think
good
that
point.
so again, they removed that, but the '60s, oh yeah, people
I
that
think the only
you met
thing
your end.
that cartoons, it is a form of cartoon. Anime still kills in their
Oh yeah,
series.
well the thing that got and it's weird. I didn't realize it until later. Like Speed Racer, like the original Speed Racer,
That's anime. Yeah.
they were killing everybody.
Yeah.
I mean, it was like machine gun guys coming in, like all hundreds of guys coming in. A guy gets a machine gun and he's just mowing people down. I mean, like just, I mean, no filter whatsoever. I mean, it was very serious in terms of the but
X-rated
again, as a
almost.
kid, you may not appreciate it that much. But as an adult, because I've been so disconnected or you don't see that kind of stuff in like who dies in Pokemon, for example? Nobody dies. I mean, it's Voltron. You had like the Robeast, right? Which was really not like a thing. It was kind of like a robotic beast. It was like a thing. So yeah, so Voltron would slice the thing in half or whatever, and it would blow up. But as far as humanoids didn't die in Voltron. At least the versions that we were able to see. Same thing with Gotcha Man or Battle of the Planets. But the real ones, like the original anime ones, yeah, people died. But they in the late '70s into the '80s, they started to roll back on the violence, at
So
least to the
I'll
point where
push
people
back on
die
that
from
one.
stuff.
In Power Rangers, in a couple of series, they kill off some characters, but they're always brought them back somehow.
Correct.
Oh, the only time they actually killed off a character completely because she really died in real life was the original OG
Correct.
Yellow Ranger. And now, obviously, J. David Frank that has passed. They're gonna kill his character off too.
Right.
But that's rare when you see that even in live action series. So, and that's another one. Hey, King, what's going on, my man? I didn't forget to call you. I'll call you as soon as I can. I've been a little bit busy this week. My bad, dude. Sound like you now. But the culture has changed, even with cartoons. Is that I think anything from the '90s, like early 2000s and down, '90s and stuff was a big theme song. So that, and I think that shaped the culture a little bit. This is a question I want to ask you. You were more into what rap, I would say, right? If
Um,
you had to pick a genre off of that, I had the reason I'm asking. I'll get to it in 1 second.
that's a little tough question. I would say, I mean, rap was influential, especially like I said early on. I'm talking
Yeah,
about like 1979 to like 1988, 89. Rap was pretty big, but also again, you had Prince, right? Purple Rain. You had Michael Jackson. Michael Jackson's Thriller. Michael Jackson's Bad. Michael Jackson's Dangerous.
beat
Off the
it.
Wall, which is still my favorite Michael Jackson album. A lot of people say Thriller, but Off the Wall is my favorite Michael Jackson album. And so, that, so again, you had a lot of R&B. You had it like, and again, with the explosion of, like I said, the 80s, the 80s music sound, MTV, MTV Raps, and all those video shows that used to be on back in the day. So I would say I think it was just, like I said, it was the era. You know what I mean? The 70s and 80s, you had that explosion of music. The 80s, I think, was where things really exploded, and you just had this music of the 80s, the Pointer Sisters of the 80s. You had, Lionel Richie and like I said, Michael Jackson and Prince. Like I said earlier, Rick James. I mean, you had, you know such a variety. You had balladeers, crooners who made, love songs up, Luther Vandross. You had the rap, you had the rock, you know, and you had that rap rock kind of thing.
Like
Like I said,
Linkin Park.
I think the most significant video probably of the '80s is the Run DMC Aerosmith Walk This Way video. That might have been the
Absolutely.
most important video ever made, because that broke the barrier. Again, just like we got these two walls like between us right now, that wall was broken that broached rock and rap music. And that was also at the time when MTV finally said, okay, because remember, MTV initially did not have black artists on. I mean, they were very shielded off to everybody. It wasn't until Michael Jackson got on, and then they really opened it up when Run DMC and Aerosmith did that Walk This Way video. That's when they kind of let the floodgates open and allow a lot more black artists on. But MTV initially, they weren't allowing black artists on. And people were like, look, Michael Jackson, he's about to launch the largest album of all time, and you better let him on. And so they capitulated and let him on. The rest is history after that. But yeah, that there
You
was
know what?
so
I
much
give
going
him
on.
ball credit for how the biggest balls he had when he did black or white.
Yeah.
That was very confidential. Like, oh my god, he fucking really going there. Like, you know what? I don't care what people say about him, about the whole stuff he did. I don't care about
Right.
that. But I care about the artist. I give him credit when it's due. That took some big cojones to do that kind of song at that time when he did it.
I
You don't
don't
think
know.
so?
Well, I think he certainly built up. If anybody, well, put it this way, if anybody could have pulled it off, it was him, because he was so popular. I mean, you gotta understand. I mean, you remember seeing those concerts back in the day with Michael Jackson?
They're
People getting
crazy.
carried out. I mean, like literally, like white people. This is the thing. I can't imagine anywhere else in history where you had white people who were being carried out, who were just, I mean, over a black dude. I mean, it was like like you never saw that before. So if anybody could pull it off, it would be Michael Jackson, because of his just the what he was able to bank over the years. Now, again, some black people, myself included, we kind of took it a certain way. Like, we understood what he was saying, but at the same time, like, I grew up in the black power, say it loud, and black and proud generation. So our thing was, it's like, look, black power does not mean white envy or white. You got to put white people down or whatever. We were in the process of uplifting ourselves. So when James Brown
Mhm.
said, "Say it loud, I'm black and I'm proud," that's the generation I grew up in. And so when Michael Jackson said, "It doesn't matter if you're black or white," we understand it. Right? We're all human beings. We get that. But there's nothing wrong with saying that you're black, and there's nothing wrong with saying I'm black and I'm proud at the same time. So
Something like
again,
I say, I'm Greek and I'm
exactly,
proud of it.
exactly. So that's the only, if he got any pushback from the black community, it was like, oh, what, and it didn't help that. Now again, I get he had vitiligo and whatnot, but we were like, you're saying that as your skin is lightening. So going from Thriller to Bad, and then when he got to that, now again, a lot of people back then didn't necessarily understand vitiligo, at least to that extent, or the procedures that he took. Because I know typically people have vitiligo, it's like blotches. You know what I mean? It's not like the skin tone isn't even. You lose your melanin in your skin. And so he took measures to kind of even out his skin tone. But we thought, and plus he had the nose job. plus the hair and all that. So we thought,
And he always cooked himself at the Pepsi commercial too. Remember that?
yeah. I mean, a lot. Now, if he would have came out with that when he still looked like a black man, like when he still, if he came out with that in the Thriller days, then yeah, I think it would have been more impactful. But by the time he came out with that, a lot of black people already thought that he kind of wants to be white, or so it was almost like we thought that he came out with Black or White to defend the fact that he took these steps to whiten himself. And again, a lot of people didn't necessarily understand that, again, that he had, because for years he didn't, he kind of denied it. I mean, Oprah Winfrey kind of had to, force him to say, look, I got a skin disorder, but he wouldn't even call it what it was. Because black people, we understand what vitiligo is. Like I said, I've known several people in my life. I dated a girl one time who had vitiligo. So I understand, or we can understand what that is. And some people, the steps that they take, they wear like heavy makeup and things like that to cover up the blotches and things of that nature. We understand what that's like. He went in another direction to say, rather than trying to stay dark, he decided just to let it all go and just let it go all white. But then again, that plus the nose job. I mean, he had a nose that looked like mine. And then he cut it down to where it didn't even look like a real nose anymore. So it's like, so the idea is like, okay, what are you doing to yourself? What is this? I mean, yeah, we can understand that you have a skin disorder and whatnot, but these changes that you're doing over time, is there something wrong with you? I mean, talent and everything. Yeah, I mean, you're the man. I mean, but a lot of people just didn't understand it. So when Black or White hit, we kind of took it a little bit differently, and it took some time, I think, for a lot of people to understand that, hey, look at the message of the song versus what we're seeing visually in front of us. That we saw a guy who, from the Thriller Jackson 5 days, and he looks very different from where he does now. And so that is, that's sort of that transition. I think a lot of it came on us, and we didn't know how to take it initially, at least from my recollection of it.
Yeah, and don't forget he had what was it, a plastic surgery addiction or some shit like that. It's called.
Well, then they say that's what happens, right? You say you start and but you see how many women you've seen do that as well. It's like, okay, they get one, then they get the butt lift, then they get the Botox, then they get the lip injection, then they get the breast
one thing.
implant.
One of my exes, I mean, she wanted to get a breast discussion and tummy tuck just because she wanted to look like 20 years younger. Like, you don't need that shit.
Yeah,
like, I want to wake you up as you are natural, so I can bang the shit out of you in the morning.
Absolutely.
So I was always against that. Like, one of my favorite songs of his, I kind of over the years changed. So originally it was Bad, and I'm just gonna Beat It, and I like the song whatever, and I kind of grew out of it, and I've been always a big fan of Smooth Criminal. I think that was one of his best songs ever. And it has a mafia feel to it, and the hat and everything. I actually like that kind of style.
Yeah.
Now the question was originally asked you that genre stuff was, would you ever, ever walk into a rock concert?
Oh, 100% sure. Like I said, there's rock songs that I have. Now I'm not. And again, there's levels to this, right?
It's metal too.
Exactly. I'm saying I'm not a huge metal head. But now, would you consider Iron Man from Iron Maiden, is that metal or is that rock to you?
Rock.
Okay, so that's what I'm saying. I can go there, but metal, like straight up, it's a little hard on the ears. Like I've been to
depends. Yeah.
You had a record center near me down in Bridgewater. And they had literally like a metal concert like outside the store. So they had these bands in there and whatnot, and they had tents set up, and they were jamming in there. And I just went by just to see, because it was so loud. I was in another, so imagine it's like, multiple shopping complexes. I hear it from where I'm at in another shopping complex. I drive over there just to see what's going on. And I see, the lights are on in the tent and I go under there. And it is so loud. And people, they're head banging and they're doing and in front of the speaker. They're in front of the speaker. And I'm still like 20, 30, 40 feet away, and it's hurting my ears.
So personally, I've been to rock concerts before.
Mm-hmm.
Five Finger Death Punch. Don't worry, I will never take you to Five Finger Death Punch. You're too green for that. For this way, they have some songs that are a little bit too heavy for you. To be honest with you, but a lot of one thing I like about them, their songs are very meaningful. They hit right at home, like Blue or Black. I mean, talking about the police force and military. Don't say they're always pigs because they're actually doing the job sometimes, and their job's
Sure.
hard.
Sure.
So anyway, so there are a bunch of good songs. Some of them can be like, screamo. Like I
Yeah.
get that part. If you're not into that genre, I get it. Like the one
Right.
band I think you may like is Linkin Park. To be honest with you, and I was talking about it earlier. I don't know if you caught that part. I was just curious because
But I'm saying, but who would you consider like a metal band? So is Bon Jovi a rock band or a metal band?
depends which era right now. Talking about he's a country
now again, he's a what?
country listings now.
Okay. Now,
He
having
switches
said that, now you talk about inspirational songs. Now, here's an inspirational song. Bon Jovi, Living on a Prayer.
Great song.
That for a long time. Like, I would be jamming to that song, is like I said, especially on the way to work.
I got a better one for you.
I love that song. I mean, it's just so, about a couple making it is tough, but hang together. I mean, think about today, we talk about these relationships, right? I mean, if anything, that should inspire you to say, look, we all we got. So hang in there with me. We'll get through this. I mean, if couples, a lot of times will just take the time just to say, hey, don't just react to a situation. Yeah, you lost a job, you did something, but we're better together. And I think that song was just like, man, a lot of couples need to hear this. You think you'll find someone else better. You think you get a better deal somewhere else. Nah, love the one you're with. We'll make it if we stay together. And I was like, yeah, this is what people need. So that's a very you talk about inspiration. That is a very inspirational song. And one of the reasons, like, I may not listen to a ton of Bon Jovi, but that song is an anthem to me. I mean, that is like, that is just that's how most people lived. I mean, that's America. That's that's that it's up there.
So a couple songs that I love about Bon Jovi, and I'm gonna name one right now. It's My Life. That song has hit home for me so many times.
Yeah.
And I think it's a great. Another one is You Can't Love a Bad Name. I'll give you a reason behind that. Is because obviously I'm non-married. Like, newsflash. I don't know if you knew that yet about me. But he has some songs like, oh my god, like it hits home. Like Living in a Prairie, Always, Bed of the Roses, Never Say Goodbye. You Gave Love a Bad Name. I already mentioned that one. Blaze of Glory, Runaway. My favorite one is Wanted, Dead or Alive. And that song hits home for me. It's the reason behind that hits home a little bit for me. Because I remember my dad, my little background, my father, I don't know if I told you, he used to be a crab fisherman. So that's how he came in the country. He needed his job. He came through the boats. He was in Alaska. He was on a different country. Didn't have a job. He goes, hey, that looks kind of dangerous and a lot of money. I want to do that. The guy, they start talking, and another guy goes, I need a mechanic. I'm like, well, I know how to turn wrenches. My dad goes, like, I'll try you out, kid. And he was a mechanic. Back then it was mechanics and deckhands. They're not now.
Right.
You have to be both.
Right.
Intersection. So, and we were watching Deadliest Catch. It's one of my favorite shows, and still is. I just don't have time to watch it anymore. And when he found out Phil Harris died, he goes, "Holy shit!" He goes, "I knew the guy." Looked at him, we're like, "What do you mean you knew the guy?" I'm like, "Come on, pops, seriously, no. I had a beer with the guy once." Like, okay, Dad, sure you did. You had it with one of the most legend crab fishing man in the world, a beer. Like, dickhead. He goes to me, "I used to be a crab fisherman. Remember?" Okay, and he goes, "You're a fucking idiot." He goes to me, and like, I was in Alaska. I'm like, "Oh, that kind of crayfish, man. Why didn't you say so from the start?" He goes, "I've been trying for 10 minutes." So he goes, I literally at the water hole we used to go, like, he knew the words too, like,
Right.
in the Greek version, like I used to beer. He was upset, and ever then that song became one of my top ones of Bon Jovi, and
Right.
kind of like a meaning to me after that.
Yeah.
But they're always their songs like. Here's one of the questions I was asking. I don't know if you heard. Do you think music affects your mood daily? I say yes.
I wouldn't. Well, like I said earlier, I don't know if it so much affects the mood, at least the way I use music now.
Absolutely.
Music, it doesn't necessarily affect my mood, but it reflects the mood that I'm in. Like I said, a lot of it starts out with what I need more so than or what I'm remembering or what mindset I'm in at the time, and then I fit the music to fit the time. So, like I said, if I need inspiration, living on a prayer, like I said earlier, that would certainly be one of them. 80s music in general certainly get that. The Eurythmics, Sweet Dreams. I mean that's a
Mm-hmm.
powerful one from the 80s and whatnot. So it really depends. But as far as I was feeling sad, but then I played this song and now I'm feeling happy. No, I typically don't get that per se. I don't use music as a regulator of emotions, but certainly it's like I said, it's more a reflector of emotions. If I'm in a foul mood, like I wanna mess some stuff up, I may put on Cypress Hill, Hand on the Pump, or How I Can Just Kill a Man, or something like that kind of gangster kind of rap that just kind of gets you like, yeah, like I just want to. And but what it does to an extent is the feelings that I may have, they may run its course when the music stops. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm just in the mood for a time. So again, Cypress Hill puts me in that kind of gangster kind of like, but then when the music is off, then it's like, okay, now I can stop being mad now at the situation, whatever. Almost express my emotions or how I was feeling in the music itself.
Mm-hmm.
And then once the music is over, now I can kind of come back to earth and get, be my rational, logical self and kind of get on with things. But no, music has never made me quote unquote feel better. Um, per se. But again, unless I do get inspired. I mean, like I said, workout music. There's certain if I'm like in the winter time especially when I'm using my snowblower or doing a lot of work outside. If I'm going to be out shelving for 3 or 4 hours, it's the Rocky Four soundtrack. Period. It's the training montage, and I'll play that, and I'll keep that in
And looping.
Hearts on Fire. That's in
One of
my
my
that's
favorite
yeah.
songs to this day of Rocky. There are a bunch of songs, but that's the
Hmm.
one that I'll always put is "No Easy Way Out."
Yes.
When you're having a rough day, that reminds you, there's no easy way out. You can still get up. It's a very motivational song. If you're
Yes.
down in the dumps, like, man, I can't get a fucking break in this goddamn fucking world. You're looking up like, God, just give me a break, right? And you're
Hmm.
like, don't like, and you turn that song like, fuck that. I got this. Another song, I'm gonna send it to you. I actually have the copy of it of my song. It's called Beast, from Southpaw from the movie,
Hmm.
and it's a little rough cursing, a little heavy. I'll
Sure.
warn you right now, because I'm not really thinking. You just prepare your ears a little bit,
I
but
got you.
it's not that heavy for me at least. But it's a good motivation song if you're trying to work out. It was on my playlist for working out.
Hmm.
Like it was one of my top songs, and I love that stuff.
Hmm.
So even Karate Kid, I have a couple some songs from there. Some of the songs we do have some things in common, like that music wise.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like we have a lot
Yeah.
of things in
And
common.
like I said, and some of that gangster stuff, like I used to watch. Let's say I'm big into bodybuilding, so Ronnie Coleman, 8-time Mr. Olympia, I would watch his training videos, and one song he always played in the gym or in his house was this song called "Never Scared." Um, and it's a hardcore song. I mean, but when he's getting under there benching 500 pounds or squatting 800 pounds, he's got that music on. And a lot of times when I would train, now I wouldn't play the unedited. I would play a lot of music. I have a lot of instrumentals of songs.
I do too.
Because a lot of times I don't necessarily want the words to say to be a distraction, or I'll have the words in my mind already. I just want the music, like the background music, especially when I'm driving. Like I'll have like the Billie Jean sound, the instrumental going in the back, the doom 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 doom, and I'll just play that as I'm going through my paces or whatever. So that gets me into something. Sometimes you just want the ambiance of what that music does without necessarily the lyrics. I don't necessarily want to, certain mood. I don't want the thoughts in my mind. Yeah, I'm gonna kill all these guys. I don't necessarily want that. Same thing with Cypress Hill. Like I said, I may have the instrumental to hand on the pump, but I'm not trying to buck my shotgun and suckers didn't drop. I mean, I'm not trying to be in that. But the song is that bass drop. It's like do God do, and you just get into when they start those bars. Even when you're driving, you start doing this. you just you just start it, so you just kind of get amped into it. But I don't necessarily want the hardcore, whether it be the cursing or like I said, you don't want the evil thoughts per se, but it's a mindset. It's an attitude that I'm gonna crush this, or I need to I need to take care of this or whatever. But I don't necessarily want to get too much into the negative words, kind of into my mind or whatever.
No, I totally get it.
But the soundtrack is, like I said, so I have a lot of rap beats. I have a whole collection of rap beats, instrumentals, music instrumentals that I can just play, or like I said, I'm driving somewhere, but I need to focus. Like I said, I need to concentrate on the road, but I'll have the music on, and it just helps me get to my destination. Yeah.
So my old workout list was this, right? Ready for it? The Belief for Five Death Punch. They're my favorite band. That's why I bring them up a lot. The Pride for Figure Death Punch. Remember the name from Front Mirror. You probably heard of them.
Yeah,
Hero from Skillet. Monster from Skillet. Rise from Skillet. Sick of the Skillet. Skillet has a lot of like motivation, like like fast bass, but good, but not too heavy, but not too weak. It was right in the middle, like you like it, actually.
Right.
Purge from Seven Dust. Then you have Eye of the Tiger. I think you know where that's from, obviously.
Yeah.
No Easy Way Out. Hearts of Fire. Enter the Sandman. You know where Enter the Sandman is from, right? All right.
Yep. Doom, 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 doom.
Yeah. Master of Puppets. Another good one. This one, you may not know the song from, but it's a very good one. I need to send this one to you. Is Never Stop. Never Going to Stop. Where's it from?
Never Gonna Stop. I'm not sure.
Generation Iron, first documentary.
Okay.
The opening scene.
Gotcha.
That's the song.
Yeah. Okay.
And The Beast, like I told you earlier, they're a great song. The only question I have for you, and we're gonna wrap it up pretty soon, is ZZ Top. Do you consider them rock, country, or what?
Country rock. Like I said, I mean, I think with the 80s, I think you had this going into the late 70s into the 80s. You had an explosion of different rock bands. So you had your country rock, you had your metal rock, you had your soft rock, you had your, I mean, there was so many different varieties of rock music that came out. There was a lot of crossover, and like I said, you had the rap rock connection. You had, like I said, you had him. You had who was the guy from Kid Rock? I mean, would you go? He was kind of like a rapper / rock guy / whatever, like American Bad, whatever.
He started as a rapper, then he transitioned to rock, then to country. He's all over the place.
Yeah, but he can kind of float relatively seamlessly between those two. So again, I think a lot of those lines got blurred with just the proliferation and popularity of American music. A lot of those genres fused. Or there was a lot of guys who crossed over and did stuff. Like I said, that's why I said the Run DMC, Aerosmith, Walk This Way, the song, because the song was already out. Everybody knew Walk This Way if you were into Aerosmith. I mean, that was an older song. Run DMC just made a remake of it. But again, it was that music video. I'm telling you, that might have been the most consequential music video of the 80s. Because when that wall got broken and rap and rock kind of came together, that just totally. I mean, David, he remembers the era. I'm sure he remembers that.
I remember that era perfectly well because there was a controversy behind.
That video though, Walk This Way, Run DMC and Aerosmith, that broke so many taboos and barriers and all that stuff. That definitely changed the game. I thought it was that impactful.
Let's not forget, it break not
Earthquake.
only
You woke
taboo,
up?
it created a lot of friction. No, this is not earthquake. I've been up. I was going to my own personal time. I'm sure you see the text message, the group text message I sent out. I was dealing some stuff here in the back end offline, which was very, very critical. So kind of like it took a lot of my mental capacity. Try
You
not
good,
to
bro?
get
You
That's
good,
overwhelmed.
fine.
bro?
I didn't get your group text message actually.
So
He sent something. I didn't get a chance to see it,
I
but
didn't.
you
Yeah, I
all
didn't
good,
get
bro.
anything.
What's up?
So I remember there was a lot of controversy with some other artists in the rap genre. They didn't like the fact that Aerosmith took that leap and took a risk because they didn't think rap and rock will collaborate very, very well along with. But
Mm-hmm.
because of Aerosmith and the reputation they had, other rock group tried to transition. Linkin Park, for example, they took a script from Aerosmith. They had a collaboration with Jay-Z, which was considered to be one of the best collaboration ever in
Yeah.
this era. You cannot argue about, and other rock
No, I
group
think it was
got to
great.
transition
Well,
over.
also remember
It was
Red Hot
great.
Chili Peppers. Red Hot
Oh,
Chili
that's another
Peppers
one.
got with Public
That's
Enemy,
another
right?
one.
Bring the Noise. Yeah. So I mean,
Bingo.
they linked up. Yep, definitely.
I think those guys
But
started Aerosmith and what's the name? Help me out here.
Run DMT,
Yeah, Run DMC actually started a
Run
trend and
DMC.
they
That's
like
the
right.
name of the group.
Yeah,
They're from
yeah,
Queens,
that's where all this started.
Jamaica, Queens.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
dude, I'm
But the
not
thing
taking anything away
is,
from it. I'm just saying.
Run DMT. I know. Run DMT always had that idea before in the past because the thing is, they know that when it comes to music, music has always branched. For example, when you look at blues, what came out of blues? You had jazz, and you have hip hop, which ended up becoming rap.
Mhm.
Technically speaking, country music came from the black lineage. But
Yeah, blues. Yep.
if you want to go if you want to go into deeper, they took that from them. Rock and roll also is black. Let's be
Yep.
honest. A lot of the
Yep.
music genre that we have in today America that they say it belong to the white, technically speaking, belong to the rock and roll. Let's be honest. How many style of
My
music
bad.
have we
Yeah,
stolen
he's right.
from
It was Anthrax. My bad. He's got it. Yeah, it
Anthrax?
was
Rock
Anthrax.
and
I
roll.
read
How
My bad.
many
Yeah.
style of music have been stolen from Little Richie and many other pioneers that they give it to the other white counterpart and make it feel like they run it. So there have been a lot
Correct.
of collaboration. There's been a robbery on top of that. A lot of sampling have been
It
happening all
is a
across
lot.
the board. Now, but now that you said the line have been blurred, it's not that the line have been blurred. The line have been wiped away clean. There's no gatekeeper
Linkin Park is a
anymore.
great example. Linkin Park is a great example because they do a little bit of everything. They have rap, rock, and some other genre, and people and they give them shit for it. Like, why? They're doing something fucking right, and they're back now, and they're
Right.
still doing it fucking right.
But you also
But
had
here,
one. Good.
go ahead, go ahead.
Good. Now, so you
I
also
wanted
had
to say
again
that
one other crossover. I mean, and these guys weren't necessarily that good, but again, because of that Run DMC and Aerosmith, I think that opened up was the Beastie Boys. So if you remember
bingo.
Absolutely.
1986, the Beastie Boys,
Yeah.
again, they're not street rap at all.
Mm-mm.
But I can't recall how many white kids, Highland Park High School, 1986, everybody was talking Beastie Boys, Run DMC, that whole thing. They brought like the white people into the rap genre because it was cool
It,
to be rapping because of the Beastie Boys. I mean,
it
I
wasn't
don't think they were
the John
great.
alone. The Beastie Boy with the help of Russell Simmons
Exactly. Yeah, it's all
made it
Def Jam. Yeah,
whereby
it was Def Jam. Yeah.
it was more it's more like they needed the Beastie Boy to bring the other demographic in. And the way they did it was not only was too iconic. To this day,
Mm-hmm.
you cannot without a shot of that and say it wasn't for the Beastie Boy, you're not gonna have a huge white demographic so interested in rap. because during that
Right.
time they just look at
Because
the black people
every
music.
white guy thought he was a rapper in 1986 when the Beastie Boys came out. Everybody started rapping. Everybody. I mean, it was.
But they didn't realize they wasn't really street rapper. They was like rappers who figure
I
out
get.
the
Yeah.
genre and know
But
how
if
to twist it to make it fit.
right, but if the Run DMC Aerosmith didn't happen, I don't think the Beastie Boys. I don't think none of that would have happened. I think everybody would have went home
They,
and be
they,
like, "Nah,
they
this
took
was
a
a
risk
failed experiment."
during the '80s.
Yeah.
They took a lot of risks, and those risks was, I'm not gonna lie, it was iconic. They one person who actually almost suffered through that, and you and I both know the Mr. Bennett with Will Smith, because when he first came out, he was able with the term bubblegum rapper
Oh,
because he doesn't
yeah.
curse. So because of how he came out with his music style, they put a invisible wall that he cannot cross over for a long period of time. If he created an album that have cursing in it, they sell tank. Everybody else was allowed to curse in that album. He was considered to be the poster child because of what he did back then that ended up becoming a TV show. Some of his rap was giving producer an idea of creating that TV show called The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air because of what he was doing. And because of how he transitioned from rap into a TV show star into a mega star, that war got thicker. So if you remember, anytime he have an album that flop, in that album, whenever did a curse, it can't like automatically. No, you're not allowed to.
And
Yeah,
He got
I
to a
don't
point where
remember ever him cursing.
No, I don't.
you
Yeah,
won't.
not in his
You,
major stuff. That was part of his. That was part of his brand.
there was the
But
one or two
let me
albums that he
ask you.
did
Yeah.
try. Go ahead, Paul.
Just speaking of what we talked about TV shows earlier, whatnot, and sounds. Is
Hmm.
it accurate to say that the Fresh Prince of Bel Air might be the most sang TV show of all time?
Most sang is not the word.
One
The
of them.
most
Like
brainwashing
the
song
number one
ever.
TV theme of all time because it's probably been memorized and rehearsed and sung more than
Memorized.
Gilligan's Island. I don't want to hear about Gilligan's Island. I don't want to hear about any of that stuff. Fresh Prince of Bel Air might be the most sung or thought of. Like when the show comes on, it don't matter who you are in West Philadelphia, born and raised on the
Paul, I don't think you know the effect of that song. It's not the most song. Let's rephrase it. It's D. Make sure the D sound heavy. Most sang song
yes,
in the
it's the
world.
number one. Yeah, Fresh Prince of Bel Air has
Period.
got to be the number one TV show theme of all time. All time.
Go to any country that have a TV and have seen that show, and you play the song. Regardless
Oh,
what language they're speaking, natively speaking,
go to
they know the
Asia, go to
lyrics
Korea,
word for words.
go to Japan, go anywhere. Everybody knows that song.
They know it word
I
for
actually
word.
did a Google search just now. Just out of curiosity. Fresh Prince is not the number one, believe it or not. Guess what song is the number one?
What?
Mr. Impossible, the TV show.
No,
That's not a
that's a
song,
lie.
though. I
Let me tell you why
mean,
it's a lie.
that's not. I
Because
mean,
you know
no,
what?
there's no lyrics to it.
Hold on. Ghost of Sparta, they based it on American soil. I'm talking about global. You go to another country and you play the theme song. Anyone remember that will be singing that thing? Like, please.
Yeah, you gotta have lyrics. The Mission Impossible, obviously, it's an iconic.
I
it's
agree with
it's
you. I'm just saying whether I
iconic.
have it here. That's the list I got here. I'm
Doc,
just saying it's
no,
accurate. I never
Doc
See,
said it
look,
was
see,
accurate.
I'm saying
No, Doctor Who will be second.
it's
After
iconic, but again, it's not. But it's not a song. I mean, it's a sound. It's a sound. It's not.
He has a
I'm
good
talking
point
about
there.
people who sing the song. You know, that's totally
The
different
one
than.
song is always stuck in my head, and you're gonna laugh at me now. Is Happy Days.
Oh yeah, Sunday, Monday, happy days. Tuesday.
If you get that
Wednesday.
song
don't
stuck in
know
my
that.
head, I'm hunting you
That's what
down,
we
you
know.
son of a
That's what we know
bitch.
here in the U.S. story. That we know in the U.S. story, but globally speaking, everybody know Will Smith.
I don't think. Yeah,
Bel-Air
it's not
song.
gonna. It's not gonna.
I
Have
was
it.
in
Now,
I was in Nigeria, and a person picked another language, heard this theme song on the TV, and he was rapping it in English. And you think he could not even speak English? I'm looking at him like,
Yeah.
What the guy couldn't
There's some
speak normal
iconic things.
English.
Look, if you're gonna put that in there, you might as well put Star Trek up there because everybody knows the theme from Star Trek. Dun, 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 dun. Everybody knows Star Trek,
Or
right?
Star
So
Wars too.
Star Wars too. I'm saying TV shows. I'm saying
Yeah.
Star Trek's theme is
Yeah,
pretty iconic as
but
well.
knowing
I
the
get that, but
lyrics
I'm talking about
word
the
for
knowing
word,
the lyrics. That's why I said that, like Gilligan's Island or the Brady Bunch
yeah, that was
or
here.
Trading Places or something like some
That is here.
shows that people sang. Like really.
Will Smith show is sang globally. I don't think you understand the. I'm an American guy living in Nigeria and see a man who can barely speak English can sing the entire lyrics. If Mr. Bennett saw
Oh,
it, he
that's
was
still
like,
that's But that's still the crazy thing to
you
me
know, wait.
today is the K-pop is still to this day the weirdest thing I've ever seen. I mean, you got people who do not speak English, but they sing these American songs. Like you had this guy got on there, he did John Legend's what was that John Legend song?
Beautiful people.
Yes. He got on there and he spoke no English. But he busted out like it was unbelievable. I could not believe it.
That's why I would say there's certain songs transcend outside the US. Will Smith is number one on the top of the food chain. Doesn't matter what language that country speak, you play their song, they remember exactly and speak clean English only for that song alone. And you've been watching
getting
like,
jiggy with it.
but I
Yeah,
spoke to the
millennial.
guy
Yeah,
in English, but he could not speak to me back, but he can sing this in clean English.
That's
I know
crazy.
if you guys remember American Idol when that Asian guy came out and he goes shebang, shebang, and they went global for a while,
Oh,
and like he had a record deal signed up. It was the worst. He
Yeah.
could not sing. And
no.
I'm not saying he couldn't say the words.
Behind
He
Will
did
Smith,
not have a
most
voice.
global song, the most global song behind Will Smith right now, which is annoying, is that. Oh, they got that
Oh, yeah.
thing. YouTube.
Well, that's the only
has
song where
blown
I
the
knew
meter.
that was one of the few songs. You got some Spanish songs, right? Like you got like Merry Christmas, like Feliz Navidad,
Yeah,
Prospero out there, Feliz Navidad.
Oh,
Like everybody,
Macarena.
yeah,
I was about to say
knowing
Macarena is probably the number one.
but most Americans don't know the lyrics unless you're of Latin descent. I'm talking about people who know the lyrics to the song, even Gundam Style. So I knew some people who could recite. They don't know what they're saying, but they can phonetically because the Korean language is phonetic. It's consonant based. So people would they would put together. I even tried it one time. Like I literally listened to the song. I put consonants together just so that I sounded like I was saying the words. Whether I knew what I was saying or not, I had no idea. But you're right, David. Gundam Style. You had a lot of people into that one, even here trying to do the lyrics of to Gundam Style. But these K-pop guys, they take it to another level. That's a genre. That is a discipline. That is a competition all on its own. And these guys be singing these songs. There was this other pair. They did what's that song? That Way. I want it that
Oh
way.
no! Oh
Tell
no!
me what. Again.
Backstreet
Oh,
Boys.
no.
Yeah, but these guys, they
Oh,
spoke
no.
no English. They started off and they started mouthing the song and everything. It's like it's freaky.
So
Totally
So
freaky.
explain that, Ghost Father. How do these people don't speak no English, but sing a song in good, clean English, and you be like,
I'm trying to figure that shit out into my day, bro.
Yeah. Well, I'm
been trying to
sure,
figure
and
that
I'm
shit.
sure even
you
Mike back in the
and you gonna
day.
look at them,
Yeah.
you gonna look at them.
Here's
How
another
you
one
gonna
for you
speak
guys. I'm gonna
English?
throw another monkey wrench in this. Do you guys remember Don't Worry, Be Happy?
Oh yeah.
Oh,
See, I like this.
no.
Eric hates that song to this day. I love it myself, but Eric absolutely loathes that song.
I abuse that song so much here on this soil and in Africa. People thought I wrote the song. I'm like, I did not wrote the song. Every time I get to the argument, I'm like, don't worry. Be
And
happy.
that guy, look,
They look
and
at me
that
like-
guy was he wasn't like a beatboxer, but all the stuff he made all those sounds. I mean, he was like a beatbox. He
Eric is pissed. Eric like, oh,
he can't stand that. He can't stand that song. He cannot. He cannot stand that song. That's like the Barney song. The worst song, probably worse than
Oh,
that, is the
no, no, no,
Barney
no, no,
song.
no, no,
I
no.
love
I
Barney
you.
is
hate that.
worse.
Fuck! Don't you dare!
Barney,
I will
Barney.
choke slam you through the
I'm
screen.
sorry. No, no, it's not just Barney alone. Barney is one of it. The other one, Teletubby. That is brainwashing.
Yeah.
The Teletubby song, I've been looking at like, who designed this song? Because this is freaking annoying. Like, it makes you want to throw your shoe at the TV screen when you hear it. Like, enough already.
Yeah.
Barney
So
and
here's
Teletubby song.
another monkey wrench really fast. This is actually a very unique skill. A cappella.
Oh yeah. What? As far as a
Just doing it and like it's like making the
I'm trying to think. Do
using
I have is there an acapella there's versions of acapella songs that I've heard. I don't think there's ever been. Has there ever been a chart-reaching acapella song? I don't think so.
No, did a few, but some of these acapella songs I do know it was usually at the testing ground to see if you can hit the range. Because believe me when I say
But I'm
this,
saying, but I
me
don't
being the kind
recall
of
an
person who's
acapella
into the
song
music,
ever being on the charts.
I don't think
Silk,
so either, but
Silk had a
it's
song. No, Silk was this Silk that sing a song? It sounded like acapella like do da da do da do do da da do. The very first time when I saw your brown eyes. That one was
Well, again,
iconic,
if
but
the guy is
the,
doing like his own sort of beatbox or kind of like doom, like
that's that's
like I said,
um
like Bobby McFerrin, like he did all his own vocals with his voice. He had no band, he had no
the
instruments
new
except
group that does
his
that.
mouth.
Not really new note. They call it Perionic. I forgot how to pronounce the name of the group, but they actually use their voice to make the actual sound of the instrument, and
that's
Well,
they
what
yeah,
they
well,
a
hit the
cappella.
but that's what the doo-wop bands like Manhattan Transfer back in the day
yeah
they would
they
do
were
it.
the
But
doo
a lot of those
that was
doo-wop
doo-wop. Yes, I remember.
groups, yeah.
There's a Nigerian guy in there in that group. He make bebop sound and he make instrumental sound with his voice, but he's
Hmm.
very masterful with the cello. And there are two other guys that also chime in, added their own voice. It became a thing where other groups were fetching themselves behind that particular group. There was a acapella competition that was done a couple of years back, and not only did they won that competition, but they became so iconic. A lot of other well-known artists were trying to do collaboration with them, and they made it hit the chart, but no one believed they would be that good.
Hmm.
Because what they were doing, they took in the old school way of singing a cappella, but also using their own voice to make certain
Yeah.
instrumental sound that you thought it was actually the instrument, but it's actually them doing that vocally,
So there's this a cappella
which
group
is very
called
hard. It's bebop.
Maytree.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a cappella group called Maytree. They're Asian. I'm not sure what exactly, but some of their songs they do is
No,
cover songs like Ghostbusters, so Marvel, you name it. They have done at least any song you can think of so far, and they're actually good. And like they're doing the whole song with their mouths, every sound effect possible. I'm like, God damn, that has to be a skill and a half.
Hmm.
I give them credit.
Yeah,
So
it's a talent, especially get those guys harmonizing. Sure.
yeah. So let's wrap it up, and because it's getting late, and we both have to work,
Absolutely.
and
I
we
know.
got things to do, and I love to sit here all night and do a 6 hour
Okay, I know
show,
that.
but
Yeah.
It's
No.
called
Yeah.
pentatonic. It's the group called pentatonic.
Pentatonic. I think I've heard. Yeah, that sounds
Yeah,
familiar. I'll yeah.
they've been here
before I
since
give you guys final
2011.
thoughts, what songs are coming back in trend? They're very old songs. I'm talking about medieval songs, like pirate songs are coming back in trend. The old pirate songs, Valhalla songs, Viking songs, ancient Greek songs are coming back. The old songs, those things are coming back in
No, the
style.
Valhalla song is more so the Mongolian band that was doing that. I was hearing that in last year or so, and the way they had it orchestrated, I was shocked. I thought the Mongolian song they were singing, but when I started paying close attention, it sounded like a Valhalla song. I'm like, wait a minute. and with a rock band, but the way they went about with their tuning out their voice and everything, you would think you get confused. You're not saying, is it a Mongolian song they sing or the way it sounds? It's hard to pinpoint what kind of style they're using. Because
So
there's
there's
a
one
lot of
band
new
called
age artists that
Music
doing
of
things that
Sound. Go ahead, go ahead, Dave. Finish what you're saying.
no, what I'm trying to tell you
So
was you were talking about the
there's a
Valhalla, all
band
these
called
ancient songs, music of sound.
yeah,
Is it
yeah.
the Asian group?
Of what? Which one?
Do they have like long beard, look like a biker gang kind of thing?
Yeah, almost. Yeah, that's one of the guy. I can't remember his name.
Yeah,
There are
that had to be the
There
group.
are three groups that sings Vada. The three groups. One is called Voice Player. They're a cappella kind of style. The other one is called Music Miracle of Sound. That's another Valhalla Viking style. And the other one is called, where is he? Patriot Pershing. He's more like an Irish kind of style. But they're all great songs. So, all right, I'm gonna throw it to the president to finish his final thoughts. Earthquake, you're next, and I'll finish up with our update.
Black
Got
Dave
it.
ain't no earthquake here.
Not much to say. Again, music. I use music to reflect my moods, not necessarily to set it. I have a lot of different genres that I go to, and it really it just depends on what mood I'm in. One genre that I didn't mention that I really love and really get into a lot of times is Chicago house from the '90s Chicago house music. That'll get me going anytime. That definitely amps me up. My wife and I will listen to that in the car on long road trips. And so I love house music that makes you dance. And I can definitely, I can definitely jam into that. So again, music to my mood is kind of how I look at it. And there's a lot of tracks to choose from. So I'm good.
Now I will say this. Now, when it comes to music, I'm very highly picky about what I listen to because, for one, I know depending on what music I listen to, it either can calm me down, it can keep me focused, or increase my enjoyment what 10 times fold unheard of because I do that to the point whereby I get I'm going through something or I need to get something done or I'm trying to go to a severe workout routine. And I don't just pick this in any kind of trash me like what we have out here the past couple of years. I don't listen to those crap. It's more like very annoying. But now I used to normally use gospel music at the mean of suppressing my stress or keep myself calm and collected. But these days I've been going through my little struggle. But other than that, music is very, very essential. It do have a connection to your soul. This is why when it comes to me picking what kind of music I listen to, it's for a very specific reason behind it. And it does something for me in a way that's unheard of, which is natural. I don't like to deal with anything unnatural to me. That is my pick of doing things. That is my final thought.
So, music and all type of music I love. I don't care if it's rap, rock, whatever. It depends on my mood. I am going to definitely listen to it. If it's your type of music, who the hell cares what other people think? If you like listening to, Asian, you have no idea what it says, enjoy it, embrace it. Who cares what people think? So, let's do a quick schedule update. This Saturday, we are talking about Captain America versus Master Chief.
I may ask. Well, I may ask for a pass again. I don't know anything about Master Shi, so again, I'll be very.
But you know
limited in
Captain
that
America, right?
Yeah,
That's all I need. I need you to be on one side. Captain America. I'm good with that.
but how can I pick verses against stuff I know against the guy I'm dealing with?
Simple.
You
Don't
need
worry
to
about
get-
that. I
All
think
right, I find I'll be
You
there.
need-
I'll be there. I'm
All
just saying I'm going to be limited.
You need someone to know Master Chief better because I know Master Chief based on the Xbox game. And
that's why you're going to be on Master Chief's side.
I wouldn't because I never had an Xbox. That's the problem. I was a PlayStation guy.
I have no idea about Master Chief either, but I have the notes. I'm good. Don't worry. Just show up. Just show up. Let me do my job. Come on.
Okay.
Let me do my job. Just show up.
Man,
That's what I'm
Joel,
asking you guys.
if
Show
you were here, you know anybody who was the Xbox guy, I would try to show up, but we need someone who understands.
I'm
Master
trying to get
Chief better.
CQ on here and King. CQ and King are Xbox addictions, and I feel bad for them actually, but it's my personal opinion.
And they would know about that game because the game they're referring to called Halo with a more popular game on the Xbox series throughout the time. But
I just need you guys to show up. I don't play Xbox either. Trust me. It's like I have PlayStation. Anyway,
that would say
next
would be one-sided.
is next Wednesday. It's not gonna be fine. Shut up with the earthquake before it starts another earthquake. Next Thursday is this show that I've been looking for a long time. I'm gonna open can of worms. Beyond can of worms is I don't need a man in my life. Me. Oh yeah, I'm going there. And Saturday the 12th, we're talking about Kingsman, the movies. Again, if you guys watch it, that's great. It's very easy to go over. And the 17th, we are talking. This is for you, Paul, because I know you asked me to put a couple of these shows on. It says, "Is your heart? You can your head on right?" And we did a part 1. This is part 2 of the series, and so on. I'm starting that series, like I said. I've already started a little bit. So I'll leave it there. Again, guys, remember, me and Mr. President will be at Comic-Con. Please come get your autographs. He will give them out for free, I promise. So, except that. You guys got anything else?
We're good. We're good.
As always, this was Sparta XQ Network. Finally, I got it right at the first try. I've been saying Good Minute Reviews 101 for so many years. This is, I am Ghost of Sparta. He is Mr. President. He's over there, Earthquake. And as
Black
always,
David, a.k.a. Bear Paw.